She's a funny performer, a much better actor than me, an indomitable spirit in whatever she pursues, and also my wife and mother of our three kids, and not a fan of roosters. We'll get into that later.
Hi, I'm Lisa Joyner, wife of
TV megastar John Cryer.
Mega.
Yeah.
And I'm Morgan Walsh, married to
comedy legend and great actor Matt Walsh.
This is a podcast about what it's like when your significant other
is just a little too significant.
Welcome to Plus One. I am really thrilled to be here. This is a very interesting show. I have never interviewed a person that I know so well. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's still more to know. But
that's it. You covered it all.
First 2 years, that's it. Yeah. But I really am interested, and feel a great deal of pressure and responsibility because I care for you so much. And I am going into this knowing some things about you. But I just want to share your experience because you have this incredible wealth of, first of all, you joke about your age and stuff and you say, oh, I'm 27. You're not old, but you're so wise and you've been through so much and done so much. Mm. And I feel gratitude every time I talk to you. When I walk away, either I'm laughing, I'm crying, or I'm
mildly frustrated,
or I'm thinking more. Mm. So this is going to be really fun. So today I am with my dear friend Morgan Walsh, and we will also talk to her headliner, Matt Walsh.
Yeah, so exciting. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm already crying. This is so dumb. What is wrong with me? I'm so happy to be here.
I should say Matt Walsh is one of the founders of Citizens Brigade.
Upright Citizens Brigade.
He also was on Veep. He also has been, he was an elf. The number of shows of comedic pop-ins that he's done is, I can't even name them all.
That IMDb list is a long.
Long, yes. And, what I find fascinating is that you share the same career, and love and passion for comedy and acting. And I kind of want to know, was there ever a moment where there was any jealousies?
No, and I mean that, no. In fact, for me, I think because there is an age difference. Mm-hmm. So Matt was long established. I was really newly sober, getting to know myself, just starting to take, even though I had already worked professionally by the time I met him, there was, I was getting to know myself in a new way. And so he was well on his way, and therefore it didn't feel like we were peers necessarily. Mm-hmm. That shifted over the years when we started to collaborate and work together more. And certainly, I take all of his accomplishments inappropriately as my own at this point. Like, I remember, and I may have told this on the show, I'm not sure, but one of the years that he was nominated for an Emmy, an individual Emmy for Best Actor in a Comedy, I was sitting next to him and my heart is pounding out of my chest, mm-hmm. And they're going through the names of the incredible people and company he's in. And I'm like, oh no, what if he wins? Because I was like, then I can't go up there. How am I going to go up there? I'm so nervous. And then it's like, I don't need to go up there. Nobody is asking that of me. But in my mind, I was like, I'm with him. We're both doing this, or I feel him in some way in this position. So no, I have at times felt the sting of, oh, I'm cleaning up messes from dogs and children, and it's been like an insane day, and then he's talking about a steak he's eating in Vancouver or whatever. I have had those moments where I'm like, that would be nice. Yeah. But jealousy professionally, no.
Okay.
Some jealousy over time to be creative, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
The open space you need to be able to be creative and fall into
I've been there
things.
too, yeah. When you guys got together, because you had sort of tasted that lifestyle a bit, was there an adjustment figure? I mean, was there adjustment time for you when Matt was, for example, Veep was a giant show and there was a lot of attention put on it and there were a lot of accolades. Was there a transition time?
You know, by that time we had been together quite a while. Our third child was born. So I was adjusted by the time Veep happened, but I will say he did another show early on when we were dating called Dog Bites Man. And it was really funny with Zach Galifianakis, 80 Miles, Andrea Savage. It was great. And there were billboards. It's when networks supported shows. There was a billboard on every corner that was Matt's face, front and center. And we were newly dating. And that was strange because I was very much, like I said, at a place where I was getting to know myself. And like you, I didn't feel like I needed anything. I was...
Which is really sort of mature because you were fairly young.
I was fairly young. I was, 27, but you know that thing. I know you have it too, where regardless of a person's celebrity or what they've accomplished, if they're an asshole, who cares?
They're an asshole.
They're an asshole. And it just isn't in me to be caught up in that. And with Matt, what I knew was that he was a really decent human being. And I just felt calm around him. And so that was the guiding force. And when I saw his face on billboards, it was more just like, this is strange. How do I talk to my family about it? Like my mom went to looked him up or something, and she thought she was dropping a real bomb because she called me and she's like, Morgan, he's married. And I'm like, what? And I go, I've been to his home. We sit at high back chairs watching movies in the living room because they had a poker table in the living room.
Yeah.
I'm like, there is no way a woman has been anywhere near this house. I'm like, if he is married, she hasn't been around for a long time.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of that, of trying to tell like my family, you know, what this new level of life was like.
Yeah. You have talked to me a little bit about it, and you've talked here on the podcast a little bit about it, that you're sober. Describe to me, I know you grew up, or you were raised in Portland and you moved a couple times, but how did you know that it was time to get help?
Oh, well, as I like to say, I was like drinking behind my own back. You know, I got to a place where I'd wake up and I'd be like, I'm definitely not going to drink today. And I would inevitably find myself drinking. I mean, how did I know? Everybody was telling me, you know, that I lost my car and had to report it stolen. I lost my car. I drove it somewhere, got out of it, forgot how I got there, didn't remember where my vehicle was. It never came back to me. I just had to report it stolen. I mean, that's...
Really?
Yes. I had so many versions of that. I am, for real, just very simply, like, very much a real alcoholic. And I think there are people who are heavy drinkers and might have problems, and quitting might be difficult, but they decide it's time to quit. Like, in my experience, both in family and in my own personal experience, if that's going on, like, nothing will keep me from drinking. You know, it really does have to be an alignment of both circumstances and that internal voice. And then also being met at the same time with resources and help and a community. And luckily that'll happen for me. It very much feels like grace, not anything I achieved or accomplished. It feels like, in my case, I feel like I was graced. And I'm so glad, because I had stopped drinking for about a year by the time I met Matt. And I don't think he says he would have like made it through anything with me, that he loved me and would have. I don't know that that's true. It was real chaos.
It was really unmanageable.
There was no managing that was happening by the end.
When did you start drinking?
I think my first drink was experimenting around like 11. And then, you know, And drugs were really the first thing I did because I was afraid of alcohol to some extent.
Because you had it in your family.
But then before I knew it, I crossed whatever that invisible line is. And I've tried to talk to because my kids ask me the same thing. They're like, how did you know? Because it really is an allergy, right? It's an allergy to alcohol. And they said, how did you know? And I said, that's the thing. Like, it just, at some point you cross the line. And if you're predisposed to it, you don't know necessarily when that will be. But yeah, I feel so grateful for all of it. I wouldn't change any of it
You
now.
said that you had resources. You had people who had been in program or that could direct you in that way, that had been through it?
Yes, I'm with one of my parents. And I grew up with like the Serenity prayer in a frame on the wall. So I knew it was there. I knew that help was available. I just didn't think I would need it, Just like I never thought, I thought aging was something that happened to everyone else.
Me too.
I really believe that. Yeah. And then, sure enough, the time came, and I'm so grateful to be born in the year that I was born so that these things were readily available in every city. And now there's like 3,000 meetings available in LA.
How long have you been sober?
19, almost 20 years. So in September of 20. Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Incredible.
It's grace.
Is that one of your biggest accomplishments?
It's so part of me now that I never think about it that way, but yes. It's the single most additive thing I've ever done, for sure. I mean, it's a foundation for living. I would lose my family. I would lose my self-worth.
A lot of people that I talk to, and I have a circle of friends who are all sober.
It's having a real moment, sobriety.
It really is. It is.
Like menopause.
But in the circle of people that I've talked to about it and have been brave and kind enough to let me enter that world, many of them have said their life really began in full when they got sober. Can you explain that?
Yes. I think I'll speak for myself. One of the reasons, and I didn't know this at the time, of course, consciously, but one of the reasons I drank and used is to put a buffer between myself and the world, right? Fear, feeling. There's so much feeling, so much sensitivity that regular life can feel overwhelming. And there's something about using alcohol and drugs as a medicine, really. And I'm grateful for it because it was a medicine. It was a medicine that worked very well to get me through a lot of things until it didn't. And so, yeah, I think I just wasn't my full self. I wasn't living fully. And then when I put down drugs and alcohol, I just start to get to know myself. It helped me build a relationship with myself, which is it's our most important relationship, the one we have with ourselves.
Well, we can't get away from it.
No, we cannot.
Can't run away from that one.
There you are.
Which brings me back, and I thought this would be the case, which brings me back to the wizened Morgan Walsh. Is that you're
Maybe
very...
sound like Harry Potter.
I don't know why. But you're very in touch with yourself, your feelings. You feel deeply. You have compassion and empathy for other people. And I think that's one thing that the program does for people. I mean, at least the people in my life, they don't enjoy surface conversations. They do like to go deep. And you have a very unique perspective that a lot of people your age didn't have, in my opinion. A lot of people haven't done the work because you're forced to do a lot of work when you decide to quit drinking.
Yeah. And again, it feels lucky. I mean, even you with being adopted, you have this sense that there's something more or there's something bigger in the people that you meet, right? You're invested in other people's stories because you are an empath, and that is true. I think some of it I came out that way, and sometimes it's hard and embarrassing. I mean, I've been embarrassed by the amount that I cry a million times, you know? And I cry happy. I cry grateful. I think there's, the work has allowed a little bit of an integration of like, okay, this is who I am. This is what it's going to be. How do I take this and be in the world amongst humans, other humans? Does that make sense?
It does. And again, it's serving you well. You have deep relationships. You know so many people and you try to care for so many people. That's sometimes a fault. but you have a very full life because of those traits. And I think if we're really distilling down what it is to be human and to live, it's connections. Okay, so you get an A+ in that.
Thank you.
You do.
I'm still working through this, but I don't think, sometimes it doesn't feel like enough because I think, you know, it's a part of myself that is me. I cannot get away from it. I don't necessarily want to, but I would also like to, I envy the ability to just follow your own path for your own passions and your own dreams and to execute those. And I don't know if it's ADHD or the traits we talk about, but I can find myself wandering into different pockets of interest in people that I'm interested in. And sometimes I worry that I stray too far from my own.
Or is it human nature that we always want what we don't have too? You know, I want curly hair, whatever. You know, there's always that as well. There's an innate thing that there's always a different, you know, whatever. What you've done with your life is yours.
Yes.
Yeah, that is yours. I'm curious because typically, obviously, when you go through something that big, that traumatic, that life-changing as getting sober, getting married, having children, how did that young girl who decided, I need to take this help, I need to get right with myself and figure out who I am, go from that, and how did that inform this part of your life?
Well, the truth of my story is I had stopped drinking, but I was still partaking in some drug use, some smoking pot, and I found out I was pregnant. And I had been going and getting help and was afraid of drinking again. So I knew, that was the path I needed to be on, but I was afraid that other people could get sober and I would not be able to. And so my kind of quiet prayer to myself was like, God, please help me get sober and please help it not hurt so bad. Because I did not know if I could do it. I really thought it was something that other people were able to do. And when I took that pregnancy test, I thought, this is it, you know? And I then went back to that community of people and I said, this is my story. Help me, you know? And they did. And I was really able to. I was absolutely able to go on that journey. And yes, it was emotional that I was simultaneously pregnant and getting sober. But it felt right. It all felt right and doable. And I wasn't alone. And
That's important.
that was, I would say, the primary thing, is I wasn't alone. And Matt made a lot of space for things, you know. There's a ton of autonomy in our marriage. And I also learned quickly, like, this is for me to do. It's not for him to hold me up through this. I want to, like, go do that work so I can bring my best self back home. And so that's what I did. And I developed a lot of my own relationships and support that way. And didn't make him that person, which is important.
That's really important. Yeah. Too many people depend. You make me feel better. Make me happy.
Yeah.
You know, do this for me. And it's like, no. That's not what you need to do.
No. And, you know, laughing helped. I would go to the theater and watch him do shows. I laughed so much. It was really an escape for me.
And you know that's a high, too.
Totally. And I am a dopamine seeker, you know? I just feel like I embraced our life. And by the time I was pregnant with our second and the day of our wedding, somebody had suggested, like, you take some time by yourself in the morning of the wedding. And I took that to heart. And I went and I took a walk on the beach. We got married in Santa Barbara. And I was so good with it. You know, I just was like, this is right. And I'm lucky and I'm here for it. Like, I'm pregnant in a wedding dress. But it just felt right.
That's when you know.
Yep.
One of the other things that got me when we first met was that you were so philanthropic. And one of the things that you have worked tirelessly on is open books, which provide
LGBTQ affirming books to public school libraries.
schools. Usually when somebody does something like this, there's a personal reason. What was your motivation?
Sure. 3 kids, watching them grow up, watching them try to express themselves in different ways, and seeing how if our son wanted to wear like butterfly wings, how the world treated him, even in a creative environment. You know, there was a real need to make boys boys and girls girls. And I thought there's got to be a space in between for, first of all, just expression and development, like your own brain development. If you're only allowed to play with certain colors, or it just didn't make sense to me. And I wanted to, you know, find other families that had a similar view of giving space to their kids to express themselves. And we also didn't want to be ahead of our kids' consciousness in any way. So we didn't want to write the end of their story. We just wanted to make a space where that story could unfold for itself, a safe space. And so that's what I did. And we started to gather with other parents who had a similar view. And then at those gatherings, I would grab books and bring the books that were sort of about that same idea. And I saw how the kids lit up with them. And then we were so busy. You know, our kids were young. I was doing some TV. I had a packaged good. I had a product I was created and had been on Home Shopping Network. I was trying
Was it?
It was an instant matcha tea. Not a big deal.
Okay, just curious.
Should not be in the beverage business. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but I learned a lot. Needless to say, I was really busy, and I thought, I want to do this. I want to help foster these kind of spaces for kids, but I don't know how to do it with this limited time. And then it occurred to me, the books that have been so helpful and fun at some of these parent meetups, what if I had donated them to my local school? And that's when it hit me. It's like, if LA teachers are on strike and they don't have enough money to pay teachers, I bet they don't have a lot of these books, which are newer and been written in the last 10 years. So I decided to file and create a 501c3 and use the private donations to purchase books in bulk from publishers and donate them on a district level to schools, which also is just more practical. And my co-founder, Keiko Feldman, and I, we were like, what's the most practical approach? And this really was. It meant one delivery of 12 books or 16 books, however many were on the list, one set for every school in that district. That meant the school district then distributed to the individual schools. So, and we were supporting publishers who were hopefully then going to keep getting authors to write these books. Yeah. So,
what if there is an example of a story that stands out because of open books? Is there something that stands out?
Do you mean one of the stories that we donate, or do you mean a personal?
No, one of the personal stories. Because, you know what? Great. We all know books are good for people. Yeah. You know, like we should all read, you know.
Yeah.
But what kind of an impact has it been?
Yes.
Have you felt?
I definitely have a story. And I'll say, much like your need with Long Lost Family, for people to feel seen and heard, that was the entire motivation for open books. It was, how does a child go into a school library and find themselves in a book? We all know what it's like to get lost in a story. What about finding yourself in one, right? And the power of that. So one story that really comes to mind, there's a smaller district here in California. I was connected with the superintendent. We operate from a curated list, and one of the books on our list is the Harvey Milk story. It's the story of the rainbow flag. And the cover of this book has the rainbow flag, right? And it's the most flamboyant of all our book covers at the time on the list. And we always, a big part of what Open Books does is we always like to partner with the district So we have their buy-in. That means that these books go on the shelves.
Right.
And we ask that they're
Not sure we'll take them.
Yeah, not sure we'll take them. We're not dropping them off and running away. We want to know that these books go on the shelves, that they're alphabetized, that they're not in some special LGBTQ section, that they're just stories counted among other stories. So we always provide a preview set for the district. And when we got this particular preview set back, we saw that the Harvey Milk book had lots of Post-it notes and markups and things that were flagged in it. And I got on the phone with the head of curriculum and I said, so do you want to have the book sets? Because that's another thing we do. We don't split up the sets. We're not educators, but we don't start getting into what books we're going to pull from the set.
Right.
It's the whole set or not. And he said, yes, we definitely want to do this. Thank you so much. But we're gonna take all the books, but we probably will not take the Harvey Milk book. And I said, why is that? And he said, well, it talks about how Harvey Milk was assassinated. Now, this is a children's book, award-winning, intended for elementary level readers, right? And I said, okay, but Harvey Milk was assassinated. And the guy said, well, I don't know I don't think we're going to do that one. And I said, hang on. And I put him on speaker.
I'd love to see the rest of the books, and it's like dead, dead, dead.
I said, hang on. I put him on speaker, and I called my kids into the room who were quite young. They were all in elementary school at the time. And I said to my son, how did Martin Luther King die? He was assassinated. How did JFK die? He was assassinated. How did Gandhi die? He was assassinated. And I said, it's really important that we have some real stories about people who were martyred for this cause, that they're real humans, not just, it's very valuable. We have a mislabeled crayon, a bird that can't quite find its flock. There are a lot of stories about other things other than humans. And it was important to have a historical figure who should be acknowledged as one of the great civil rights leaders of our time. And he said,
What did he say?
Okay. He just said, okay. And I said, all right. I met him. We went to this big principals meeting for the district. We brought all the sets. And this man came up to me crying his eyes out. And I knew right then, I could tell the way that with the amount of emotion he was having, that he was gay, he was afraid, and he was like, thank you, And I was just so proud of him, because it's like, it is a risk, it's a thing, but it's the right thing to do. Representation matters.
Of course it does.
And I think all kids belong, especially at school. You should be able to see yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
I need to lighten this mood a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm crying too.
Have some Fruit Loops.
Some popcorn. Here's the thing. I would like to know a few things about you, so I did a little research.
Uh-oh.
Actress, I want to have your reaction and your explanation
I
of
know
these
where this
things.
is going, I think.
First and foremost, explain this.
Oh, that is Happy Endings. That is Happy Endings on ABC. I'm in a scavenger hunt competition with Casey Wilson, where I'm her long-lost friend from high school who has everything, clearly long blonde extensions. I am in a pregnancy suit in this, but
You're not pregnant?
I'm in a pregnancy suit, but my daughter is 2 weeks old and she's in my trailer while I'm filming this.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Yeah, my mom was trying to keep her calm in my trailer. Oh, Burning Love. Also a pregnancy suit.
Really? Mm-hmm. You were pregnant all the time. Why do they have to put you in a pregnancy suit?
They happened to get me the best time right after the baby's born. It's like I'm breastfeeding. In that particular show, I was wearing pants that were both too big and too small for me.
Wait, how does that work? Just in different areas? One
Yeah,
part's too
different-
big and
yes.
okay.
And I was, despite the picture of mental health you see before you, I was crying nonstop in that particular job. It was so hard. I was breastfeeding in between scenes. Again, I'm pregnant. And actually, I have no idea what that is.
Who is that you're with that is laughing hysterically?
Oh, that's Ken Marino. Yeah, we are doing some bit. That's from a scene from Burning Love, and that's Ken.
And then my final one would be,
Am I pregnant again? That's the same show. That's the scavenger hunt. Now I'm in a shopping cart being pushed down.
is it a shopping cart or is it made to look like a bassinet?
It's made to look like a bassinet. I'm a baby jogger in a
grocery store bassinet.
And that's Adam Pally and Casey Wilson behind us. And I can't remember this lovely gentleman who was playing my husband at the time. I can't remember his name.
Oh my God.
I thought you were going to ask me about Fart Copter.
That was my next question. You were in something called Fart Copter?
Which the way the algorithm works.
Explain that.
Sure. It was an infomercial that Rob Hubel wrote. And I starred in with Brian Stack, who's an incredible long-time Colbert and Conan person, writer, actor, where it was a toy. It was an infomercial where we were selling toys, fart copters, powered by farts that shoot bullets. And it played late night on Adult Swim. It still pops up now and again.
Really? You said you and Matt have collaborated. What have you collaborated on?
So many things. I mean, we've done a bunch of live shows together, but he directed a movie called A Better You, and he directed a movie called High Road. And that is one thing, I mean, one of many, but that he's always very supportive of. Is when he's doing a project or writing something, he's like, I need you to act in this. I need you to be this person, whoever it is. And
But he has a lot of faith in you. You can tell because he wouldn't just throw anybody into it.
Yeah. It makes me so happy to make independent movies. I love independent film, and I love the camaraderie and the teamwork to get something over the finish line.
Yeah.
It's such hard work.
Yeah.
But it was, we had a great time. And those features were predominantly improvised. We'd work the scene out in rehearsal and then decide, okay, that works, and that way it's easier to edit. You have like 3 virtually of the same takes. But yeah, Dylan O'Brien, who is an incredible big star now and lovely actor, it was his first feature was High Road, and I offer him a hand job and repeatedly. And
In the movie,
yeah. No, on the side. I was just...
I'm just that person.
He was like... And then his parents came to the premiere, and I just remember feeling like, I am so sorry. I can't explain it. But it was so fun. Yeah, and then I've done other television shows he created, and of course I loop him into so many things. I made him a producer on a show we were doing called Back Talk, like behind the scenes of a talk show, like a View type show. Yeah, he's so fun.
Well, I'm excited to talk to him.
Yes.
Which we will in just a moment. I want to know how much he really knows about you.
I don't know. I don't know that he's going to be able to answer very many things.
We'll see.
Fingers crossed. I'd like to think I made an impression on him.
Hi.
Hi, honey.
I'm zooming in from Toluca Lake, California.
How are you? I know we're...
Welcome to the studio.
Yes. We're so happy to have you here. And it's so fun because we know each other fairly well, but I've never been able to be put in this position to actually get super nosy as like a job. So yay.
Yeah. Bring the journalist. Come on, Lisa.
Come on, I'm bringing it in. Matt.
You're a good one.
Thank you so much. Thank you. We've shared so much fun together. Our families have. and getting to know your wife so much. It's one of the most meaningful friendships that I do have.
Aw.
And having a great time talking to her about being a plus one. In your opinion, Matt, what does it take to be a good plus one?
Patience. Morgan's very supportive of all the demands that come with like entertainment functions, and she also cares about wardrobe. So she's sort of like a dresser, makeup artist, image consultant, and she's a good hang, so she can make friends with all the people I end up working with. So those would be my gut reactions to what the needs are for a plus one.
But okay, so that goes to a point that I have about this woman right here. Now I've gotten to a point when I go to talk to somebody or I meet somebody, I go, oh, I'm doing a podcast with do you know Morgan Walsh? And most of the time, they know her. Is that your experience?
Yeah, she's good at networking. She'll get emails, like I'll barely remember people's names and she'll walk away with emails and contacts.
It's true. It's really true.
She has a networking gene.
Well, I like connecting with people. I like
Yes,
people's
in a
stories.
good way. I don't mean networking like super transactional, more like common interest or let's get together.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Do you ever feel like a plus one to Morgan?
Yeah, often. Like you said, she's very popular and she has a lot of friend groups. Sometimes they're here for game night or meetings and things like that. Also, she was in a sketch group for a while, so I would see her shows. Or she's been in some TV shows, and I've been to premieres for those, like Hottest Wives. Am I getting the title right? Or
I don't know.
Games People Play.
Yeah.
What was the one with Jon Stern?
Oh, with Jon Stern. Oh, you're
Super
thinking of
Housewives?
the live show, the Realist Real Housewives that we did. And then I did a bunch of Jon Stern stuff. Wet Hot American Summer, 10 years later, blah, blah, blah.
Wet Hot American Summer. But I was thinking of the one when you were pregnant and you were competing on a fake
Burning
reality
Love.
show. Burning Love, not Hottest Wives, Burning Love.
Yeah.
Well, what's interesting about your relationship, I mean, one of the things, is that you guys basically did the same thing. I mean, Morgan is hysterical. She's an actress. You are known for your comedy and all the different roles and character actors and all the things that you've done. What was it like being in relationship with somebody who has the same sort of vocation?
I think it's good. I think it makes it easier because they understand, the insecurities, the ups and downs. They also have a passion for good art or good quality cinema or TV. So I think that makes it fun. And we collaborated, I've directed a couple small indies, and we've worked together on those.
I'm usually an old prostitute or a mean mom. That's my wheelhouse.
I think Mean Mom had other facets in the one movie. But
No,
yes, you were a prostitute in the other one.
You're right. I wasn't a mean mom in your movie.
I got a pitch.
Old prostitute, mean mom. Mean old prostitute mom.
Yes, mean old prostitute mom. Matt, can you write that?
We could improvise it. I'm a fan of just having an outline and seeing where it goes.
I love
But yeah,
that.
Mean Old Prostitute Mom. Don't change the title. I love that.
No. Well,
People would go see that.
very beautifully segue into, I don't know how you go about co-founding the Upright Citizens Brigade. Can you tell me about that?
I came out of Chicago, where improv is a very big part of the theater scene, or certainly in like the early 90s. And I befriended Matt Besser, and him and I started doing shows together, and eventually started doing a group called Upright Citizens Brigade with Amy Poehler and Ian Roberts. And in 1996, we left Chicago to find a way to get a sketch show on TV, because our idols were Kids in the Hall. We wanted our own voice. We wanted our own show. And so when we got to New York, 2 years later, we got a show on Comedy Central. And we also opened our own theater at the same time, because we had started teaching improv to New York students who had never seen long form, which is Chicago style improv. So we needed a space to teach and also do our shows, because New York is very unkind to anyone from Chicago. Like, you can't leave your props anywhere. You gotta pay money for tech. And so it was almost like opening a clubhouse that would serve our own show, but also allow us to teach classes.
I want to just interject here too. One of the great things I think about the story of UCB is that you guys all committed to each other that this was the thing you were doing. You know, so often people pick up side hustles and they might find themselves afraid to let go of the 9 to 5 in some way, to take the leap. And you guys collectively decided you're going to take a leap. And then teaching classes allowed you to do the thing you love and also pursue your careers individually or as a group.
That's either brave or stupid, Matt.
Well, my publicist there said it best. Yes, we committed to each other at months at a time. Like, we didn't want to get picked off for TV shows or other sketch shows. So we got to New York and gave it 6 months to see if we caught any traction. And we did. And I think we were able to make a go of it because the classes allowed us to make short films or take a trip to LA to feed like these other aspirations. Yeah.
Amazing. While we're on the subject of improv, and I have 2 improv actors right here, comedic actors right here, would you like to start in a 1-minute improv with your wife?
Oh,
I'm going to give you.
Yes, and.
I'm going to give you a phrase. Popcorn.
Okay. Hi, I would like to get a, what's the super deal?
Oh boy. So you can get a large popcorn, 2 large sodas, and a candy for $35.99.
2 large soda. I'm just here by myself. Is there a way to get 1 large soda and a smaller popcorn?
No, you're gonna just give the other soda away. Make a friend.
This guy behind me is being rude. I'm figuring out my order, sir. The movie, they're just showing trailers right now.
And you don't have, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry about the gentleman in front of you.
Check me out. I'm on Stubbs. I got status. I'll give you my Stubbs number. Like, I'm a big supporter of this place. That's rude.
Scene. Very nice. Very nice.
Did you believe it?
Seamless. Matt, how would you introduce Morgan?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have the prestigious honor to introduce one of my favorite people on the planet. She is a powerful advocate for various charitable causes, including open books. She's a funny performer, a much better actor than me, an indomitable spirit in whatever she pursues, and also my wife and mother of our 3 kids, and not a fan of roosters. We'll get into that later. Ladies and gentlemen, from Portland and other hippie environs, please welcome my much younger wife, Morgan Walsh.
Very nice. So, Matt, this question is, what is your spouse's blank, blank, blank? So it's not yours. What is Morgan's favorite movie?
Terms of Endearment.
Have any comment?
Good job, honey.
Okay.
It's good to do hand motions when it's a podcast and not use words, just use physical. That was good. That's the first movie that popped into my head.
Yeah. First concert do you think she went to?
Grateful Dead with her, she was probably 14 or something with her parents, or maybe unsupervised, actually.
It was the Grateful Dead and Bob Dylan, but I was like 8.
Amazing, though. I'm really impressed with that. What do you think? Do you know what Morgan's go-to song would be? Or artist?
Bonnie Raitt. Probably a Bonnie Raitt. Is this for karaoke or just in life?
Just in life.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with like a Bonnie Raitt. What is that? This Old House? Is there something where she sings about a house?
Yes.
Anyways.
Dimming of the Day.
Yes.
And we heard her sing it at the Greek, and it filled the whole stadium. It was just her voice and her guitar. It was so incredible.
So is he correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys are doing great.
She was flirting with a young guitarist too. Remember that? She was like kind of throwing it out there.
Oh, I thought you meant me. You mean Bonnie.
No, Bonnie.
Oh, I thought you meant you.
Young guitarist? What? I wasn't even on stage. I don't remember that, but I love that you do.
That is so funny. Matt, what is a sign that you get? It doesn't have to be word. It could be physical. What is a sign that you get that your spouse is upset?
Wow, that's a good question. I would say
Yelling?
rapid, well, I mean, that's obvious, but a subtler one would be like rapid pace of foot movement or a slamming of something as she's cleaning it up.
Oh my God, that's so evocative, Matt.
Yeah.
I love that. What's Morgan's guilty pleasure?
Strawberries and Nutella.
He knows you.
I am stunned.
Oh my God. What's Morgan's biggest strength?
I would say tenacity in the best sense. She is very tireless and focused, like a pit bull with a bone or something.
Okay. Favorite pastime?
Also strawberries and
Wow, that's funny. I mean, soft clothes, TV viewing would be a simple one, but I think like scrolling and dropping things in the Amazon cart is a great
Yoga.
way to
What
sort of.
about yoga?
Oh yeah, tediously dedicated to yoga every night.
You guys are like, I've never done questions where you guys have been so on board. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's great.
That's pretty impressive.
I do love adding
Yeah,
things to
yoga
a
feels
cart.
like a structured, like almost dedicated
Oh yeah.
practice. You know what I mean?
Different
like
than a
pastime
pastime.
feels like chill, unstructured.
Totally. And
You're right.
I do like to say soft clothes by 11, meaning clothing, soft clothing by 11, like the idea of just everything soft. Soft
You make it
socks.
till 11?
Yeah, we make it to 11.
Oh,
You're there
She's more of a night owl than I am.
Yeah.
yeah.
But just the
Yeah.
idea of, being cozy.
You've had so far, such an interesting, varied career. You're like a journeyman. You're a guy who you feel like you could call him in to do it. Do you have a role that you went, God, that was fun. I wish it didn't end.
Well, sure. I feel like Veep was an incredible one. I recently did this show, Vladimir, which I think is a one and done. That would have been a fun one to return to. It's always based around excellent writing, which both those shows had, and sort of a good hang with the castmates. You know what I mean? Those situations are rare. And so, and it's not even the role necessarily. Like, those are really primary to wanting to go back to them.
You've done so many things, and aren't you in the middle of writing a book?
I am. Good research. Yes, I'm writing a book about my journey for 20 years since I landed in New York with Upright Citizens Brigade to starting a couple theaters, one here in LA, to like 2016 when we did Carnegie Hall. But it's really all the people we taught or people who came through there. And it's really about the rise of long-form improvisation in the world. Because when I started, it was only in Chicago. And now I think Yes and is a New York Times crossword question, you know? Mm-hmm. You discover like, oh, this is actually heading in a direction I didn't see. Mm-hmm. And sort of, some people found it like replacing religion. Some people had... You discover these milestones that everybody who dedicates some point in life in their 20s, 3 years to learning everything about improv and sketch, they all have similar milestones. And then you discover the value of the friendships and children that arose out of that scene and the importance more than ever of what they call communal effervescence, which is people gathering together and almost sharing a higher connection than they would isolated in their home on a screen. It's emotional because for me, it's over. I have nothing to do with the place anymore. So it's challenging to like understand it and put those emotions away and process that. So it's a lot of those things.
I was going to throw out there too, honey, something you and I have always said that, is based in that world. And that is we kind of looked at each other and we said, we're going to say yes and to life. We were surprised by each one of our kids, even though we understand how procreation is done. We understand how somehow we were surprised each time. And obviously we welcome animals into our house
And outside your house.
and outside our house. But this idea of just like, all right, let's see what happens.
I agree, honey. Yes, and is something we have adopted in our life. And sometimes it creates chaos, but a lot of times it brings these unexpected things of joy that you didn't think you could handle, or you didn't think you wanted, or you didn't see coming. And they're wonderful. Like two roosters or a dog that's a chaos machine.
Yeah. Matt, why was it Morgan? What was it about her that you went, okay, all right, we're doing this?
Attractiveness. She's very attractive. First, I'm a guy. She was, in theater and had a cool vibe. She was also different in a way that I liked. Like the way we came up were different, and I liked that. She was funny. So yeah, those would be the first instincts.
I was going to say, you told me it was when I cried at March of the Penguins.
That's true. She's very different than me. She's much more emotionally open or raw or vulnerable. And so that's part of that other cocktail that you have that I don't necessarily have myself. So that was the otherness is really cool. I thought that was really neat.
She's hot.
She's hot. Well, yeah, that was my first
Yeah.
reaction. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
It's true for women too. We like looks matter.
Looks matter and the funny matter.
The funny matter.
Were you just in awe of his, the way he spoke and the way his brain worked?
Actually, what was funny, the night we met, I was watching a show that he was in, and it was a show where Horatio Sands was wearing a beard made of duct tape. Matt was covered, had a handkerchief over his mouth. I don't know what Besser was doing, but it's a show where they were basically assaulting the audience. They were yelling things at the audience. And Matt was smoking cigarettes and drinking. And I thought to myself, that guy's really funny, but if he smokes one more cigarette, I am getting out. I was so judgy. And then, but you were making me laugh, of course. And then to forget my coat, I really did forget my coat. Matt thinks I left it on purpose.
Yes, that is yeah. After the show, I went out to see who that beautiful woman was. And lo and behold, she had just come down to find her coat. So she says.
It's the old, I left something here. Got it.
Yes.
Yeah, the oldest trick in the book. Well, thank you for allowing me to actually interview you. So now that we can go back to just talking over a glass of wine.
I would love to unpack me trying to record my voiceover for your show multiple times, because I think it's good fodder for your guys' show.
Yes. Okay, we will do that. Was there anything that surprised you that Matt said?
That he knew so much about me.
I was kind of shocked. I don't know if my husband would know that much.
He really did know. And now I'm laughing. I'm like, is it because I'm always like, know me? My favorite movie is like, please see me.
Well, it's working.
It's working. It clearly is working. Yeah, there are some times where I have felt like I need to reintroduce myself to him, but clearly I'm wrong because he knows me.
Yeah. He's paying attention.
He's paying attention.
He's like the children.
Yeah.
They're always watching.
They're always watching. And you think they're not.
Yeah. So if Matt was unavailable and you had to choose another plus one, living or dead, who would it be?
I think I would pick my grandmother, Betty. I think I would pick Betty. That or Jane Goodall. I know it's real. She was tenacious, daughter of immigrants, worked so hard. They had no money. Her parents divorced, which is unheard of.
Back then.
When she was a young child. And she just committed herself to education, became a founding member of Mount Hood College. She got her doctorate in education, raised 3 children. She just didn't take any shit, but she didn't take any shit in the best way, like just savvy and kind. would go to DC and get money for education from the government. And she taught me a lot of things. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Apologies aren't weakness, they're strength. She gave me a lot. And she said, don't smoke, go to college. I did smoke. I don't smoke anymore. Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah.
My
but we
parents
don't,
can say that. Yeah. Well, they were giving, cigarettes out like candy back then. We didn't know how bad it was, even though, you coughed when you first smoked. But anyway, that wasn't a sign for us.
yeah, I think it would be her, to have some more time with her.
Yeah. Well, Morgan, this was really fun. And it's interesting because I've known you for a while, not for 10, 20 years, but we just got into it right away. But I've learned more and I still love you.
Oh, thanks. I was on the edge of my seat. I'm like, this could go either way.
And we'll do more of this, right?
Yes, we will. There's so much more about me to be revealed. And so much more.
And so much more to talk to other plus ones about. We've got to...
Sure. Yeah, them too.
If we must.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I love you.
I love you too.
And I guess I like Matt.
I guess he likes you too.
Yeah.
He likes you too.
Oh,
20
20 years.
You're doing a good job. Yeah.
Matt, and same as you and John. Matt and I, 20 years. Crazy. Time makes no sense.
Longest relationship I've ever had or ever will. We would love it if you would subscribe, if you would comment, if you would tell us who you would love to see on the show, what plus ones you want to hear from, and share your experiences as a plus one because we want to hear and maybe we can talk about it on the show or share your story.
Compliments.
What is
I also appreciate any compliments.
Compliments, yes. Comments, kind. Remember what Grandma said. Plus one with Lisa and Morgan on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
You got it.
Thank you for being here.